You are in Where's Huddle with me, Bram, with me per usual, my master of all things video and sound, Maxine.
How's it going?
And my boy, our producer, MT.
What's up, Dev Nation?
Gentlemen, Giannis news is flying around. You know, we had to bring in a big gun, so rejoining us after way too long. A noted sports author with ties to the Ringer and the Herald, a former Warriors beat writer for the Bay Area News Group who's become a close and trusted friend, the current host of the Locked On Heat, Locked On NBA, and the Real GM podcast, and a guy who might be the best husband I've ever seen on Instagram, Mr. Wes Goldberg. What's going on, Wes?
I like being described as having ties to something. That's like, I feel like I work for the government or something, or I'm like adjacent to government, high level government workers.
Yeah, I mean, I was also impressed with your many ties, but I'm not going to follow up the whole wedding shit, dude. If we've got the Instagram post, let's put it here. I always like to Google our friends. Here's Wes. It's a picture of he and his lovely wife, Jules. And here it says, I fall in love more every year. Happy 2-year anniversary. That fucking line, boys, we're all married. That line, I fall in love more every year. I mean, 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
Just,
and they said ChatGPT is useless, man. Like,
okay. I'm actually glad to hear you say that, right? Because
I didn't use it. I'm a writer.
Here is
it was a joke.
Here's the challenge you've created for yourself, man. You're setting the fucking bar real early, dude, in 2 years and real high. I know. I mean, I'm getting close to 20 years,
right?
You know, and like I've kind of run out of like really nice.
Well, that's
things
the beauty of that line is you could just keep using it.
No, I'm telling you, you cannot. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, you cannot. And so I'm just look, dude, you're setting the world on fucking fire. I saw that and I was like, God damn, I was immediately jealous. I might use it now at year 20, but I mean, the sky's the limit now, man. I don't know what the next step is, but holy shit, it's a high bar.
That's what we're all about.
Well, he's associated and adjacent to an organization like the Heat, so I think it'll be fine.
High bars.
Well, and he has ties to ChatGPT and ties to a lot of other things. So I mean, Marriott is really shout out to the Marriott boys. Specific Giannis episode. He's the center of the NBA world right now. You turn on ESPN or any outlet, that's what they're talking about. And so we're certainly going to talk about it, but we've got Wes, and I've been, I don't know, holding a couple of Jimmy Butler questions back. And so he seems to be the perfect person to ask. Here's the first, man. How happy, so this is not reporting, this is guessing, and guessing with a tongue firmly, planted against your cheek. But how happy do you think Pat Riley was when Jimmy Butler got hurt and it was announced that he would have to miss a full year? Because, memory serves, the fight was Pat didn't want to give him a multi-year contract, probably concerned with games played. It looks like, I'm not going to say he was right, but I'm sure he feels he's right. So, yeah, what do you think, dude? What was his reaction when he found out the news?
So this is a tremendously petty question. And and I'm not going to lie, I also had a very similar thought when I saw Jimmy Butler go down. Okay, so just putting that out there. It's one of two ways that Pat Riley responded. It's either Don Draper, I don't even think of you type of thing, or he might have actually been pissed because now Jimmy has the ultimate out of, I couldn't win a title in Golden State, the thing that I couldn't do in Miami because you didn't get me enough help because I tore my ACL. But otherwise we were, because the Warriors were playing well at the time and the whole thing. And it's like, otherwise we were trending in the right direction. So now Jimmy has the ultimate out, right? Of, well, we'll never really know. And I think that actually probably pisses off Pat Riley, because if Pat Riley could have had it maybe, and at the risk of speaking for Pat Riley, and to be very clear, I do not. Sure. I don't want this to go anywhere. But if in jest, I would say he probably would have preferred Jimmy Butler to get to the playoffs and average like 12.5 points per game on 8 shot attempts per game, and then that be it.
Look kind of old, you know, like not hurt at all. That makes sense. I'll have you know that for our 15th wedding anniversary, Eric had a post that says you get more petty every year, which is something that it really meant a lot to me. So it is
really
beautiful.
Sees you, and I think that's the beauty of it.
I felt seen. That, you know what? That's that's exactly right. I couldn't appreciate her more. Here's a good transition. The three of us talked about, I don't know, morality is the right word. But so let's see. You got to match salary. right? When we're talking about the trade for Giannis, everyone's focusing on the picks, and we'll talk about that in a second. But the practical reality is you got to max salary. And in order to match salary in a trade from Golden State, the player most likely to be sent out there is Jimmy, because his salary almost matches fucking directly. Morally, in your opinion, how do you feel about somebody gets hurt and then you trade away the contract? You know, does the team owe the player more than that? Like, how does this hit you?
Is this to me?
Yeah.
Morally, as soon as it's like, look, if Jimmy Butler got off the highway right before the morally exit, okay? Like, no offense, but like, come on. Like, what are we doing? This is a guy that forced his way out of several different destinations, all because he was acting selfishly. And look, more power to him, dude. Like, age of player empowerment, go get your money, go do your thing, get to where you want to go. More power to you. But at the same time, the team can turn around and do the same thing to you. Like, you've opened up the door now where I'm not going to feel bad about it. Now, I know Mike Dunleavy Jr. said that he probably wouldn't want to do that and things like that, but that was prior to the Giannis non-trade demand. Now everything, as we know, that's we live in a different world now. That was a pre-Giannis non-trade demand. Now we're in the post-Giannis non-trade demand. So at this point, I think morality has very little to do with it. I would actually argue, if we're going to kind of do the train track thing here, like what is the most moral of the least moral options, I suppose. Yep. But like the more moral thing to do would be to give Steph Curry the help he needs to play in games that matter again. That is more moral than worrying about Jimmy Butler, who just got here and will force his way out if he feels like he needs to again, because he's done it before.
And what's the contract next year? Is like $450 million? I forget.
For Jimmy, like $56 million.
Yeah, okay. I don't feel super bad if he's in a location he didn't necessarily want to be in. But the follow up, and MT, I won't bastardize your question. I thought you were getting the band back together. Last Dance question was a very fucking solid one, so I'll turn it to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think morally, I'm aligned with Wes. The team has to do what it needs to do, and it's a business. But I think in this day and age that there's a caveat to that morality. I think you have to, behind the scenes, ask a player like Jimmy Butler, and in this case, Jimmy Butler specifically, how he feels about it and say, this is what we're doing. My guess is they had that conversation and they talked about a secret agreement where he stays out for most of next year. He slow rolls it back, and then they see if there's a way to make the money work for them all to run it back in the 26-27 season, where it's Steph, Draymond, Jimmy Butler, and Giannis, and they have one shot in one season to do a last dance type of run at a championship.
Or 27-28, right? Not next year because he's already under contract, but the year following.
Yep.
Possibility, Wes? What do you think? If we spur this guy, we send him out, would he be willing in a couple of years? Come on back, dude. It was a temporary deal.
Sure. I guess. Who knows? Look, the thing, if Jimmy gets traded to Milwaukee, right? He's not playing next year for the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't think you would ever see him wearing a Bucks jersey. He would go off to gallivant in Madrid or, Barcelona, wherever else he wants to go. Interesting thing about Jimmy Butler's contract is that it's completely insured 100% against this kind of injury as long as he does not play, right? So in other words, if it's a season-ending injury, then it's completely insured. So a team like the Milwaukee Bucks could bring on the $56 million contract for salary matching purposes, but then not pay a dime of it.
Shit.
Right? And so for a team post-Giannis that's already dealing with a lot of dead Damian Lillard money on your books, that could be a factor here. Now, talk about morally. You're starting your post-Giannis era in Milwaukee by just ducking as much money as possible and trying to save it. That's not morally correct, and I think the Milwaukee Bucks might be like cursed for like 100 years like the Red Sox were if they did that, but that is a thing that's out there. Yeah, and then at that point, then Jimmy's either traded at the deadline or comes off the books and then makes a decision in the summer, to Marcus's point there. So, sure, yeah, I suppose it's possible. The other thing I'll raise you guys here, though, is I don't know that it has to be Jimmy Butler in the trade. In fact, if I'm the Bucks, I'm asking for stuff that's not Jimmy Butler. I don't want any part of Jimmy Butler if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks. there's this idea, and I don't know what you guys think about this, but like, oh, well, he's going to be expiring next year, and so this is movable money. I'm like, no, it's not. It's $56 million in expiring. That's not just, hey, here's a $12 million expiring contract. Not all expirings are made equal, right? And so $56 million in expiring is very difficult to move, and I don't think that the Bucks want any part of it. Again, knowing that A, Jimmy's probably never going to play for us, and B, like you're not flipping Jimmy Butler for anything of value at the next trade deadline. Like we know what the market is for Jimmy Butler. It was the Warriors, and that was it. And now that was before the ACL tear. There is no market for Jimmy Butler, and so I think that the Bucks would prefer a different kind of package. There is a way to make it work where it's Draymond Green, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and Pods going out, Giannis coming in to Golden State, and then whatever other minimums like a Gary Harris, Torian Prince, Jericho Sims, like just the smallest contracts that Milwaukee has, goes back. It works under the cap. Both teams are satisfied cap-related wise. All the picks obviously go to the Bucks.
Yep.
And I think that's a deal that Milwaukee would prefer. And because you're getting Kuminga, Moody, and Pods.
Yep.
And then you're getting Draymond, who's probably rerouted somewhere else. And Draymond, he's not what he used to be, but he's far more tradable than Jimmy Butler.
Only 22 million, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. It's 25.8 million and healthy, like actually playing, and Jimmy not with a torn ACL. So, and then I think I think that should at least be discussed in a way that's not really being discussed, because on the other side of that too is, well, we kind of know what Draymond is right now. It's an uncomfortable conversation to have because of what he means to Golden State, and I get it. But if the goal, remember, the goal isn't to get Giannis, right? If you're the Warriors, the goal is to win a championship. And if you think Giannis helps you compete for that championship, okay, you go get Giannis, but then how are you filling out the rest of the roster? Well, you could argue that Golden State's best argument to contend for a championship next year is not with Steph, Giannis, Draymond, but with Steph, Giannis, and Jimmy Butler coming back. Even post ACL, Jimmy Butler is probably a better player than current or a year older at that point, I suppose, Draymond Green. So again, that's a scenario I would not rule out.
Pushing back quickly, because we're going to cover this with more detail down the line here. If I am Milwaukee and what I'm doing is hitting the reset button, like, fuck, dude, this isn't working. We've got no window here. What I want to do is just start all the way over. Then a player whose contract is fully insured, I don't have to pay $1 of it, and is not playing next year. So now I'm going to be further down the lottery and be even more likely to get like a top fucking 5 pick because I've got no talent. Speaks to me, especially the insurance part. Especially, well,
the Bucks don't own their pick next year. They own their pick this summer.
Oh, and they have no pick next year. Okay. Right. Well, then that's a harder set.
And honestly, like Kuminga, Moody, and Pods, they're not.
Oh, for sure. No, I think Kuminga, Moody, and Pods are going to be involved regardless. And as you'll see down the line, I think one of the upsides on Jimmy is it lets Milwaukee dump Kyle Kuzma as well.
That's a good point.
And then you get to tell them, look, man, you want to reset this Kyle Kuzma? We'll even take Bobby Portis. You start all the way over. But I hear you. And then as far as fielding a roster, I think what Golden State hopes is you bring in Giannis and you have Steph, you're going to be beating off people who wants to come and play. That it's a bunch of people, but let's get there. All right. Start here. We've been talking about fucking Giannis forever. Big deal, but it's not just us. And today you just hosted a Locked On NBA podcast, national pod. I imagine Giannis was the centerpiece of it. What was the discussion? What's the general feel? What were the questions? How'd that go?
So we know the 4 teams that are sort of on. There's no list because to have a list of trade preferred destinations, there has to be a trade demand, and there's no trade demand. There's just like sunny side up eggs or something. I'm not really sure what's going on with Giannis, but it's the list of teams that he would be open to playing for if we're going to do all the Giannis type semantics here. Minnesota, Golden State, Miami, New York, right? So the other conversation that we had today was, well, what about other than those 4? Like, they're going to be getting phone calls. Like, are there dark horse candidates out here that could potentially get in on this? Because we've seen stars, have their list of preferred destinations and then get traded elsewhere. Damian Lillard to Milwaukee, right? Cleveland got Donovan Mitchell, where it looked like the Knicks were in the front runner to get Donovan Mitchell. Phoenix coming out of nowhere to get Kevin Durant when that happened, or Houston getting Kevin Durant this last time. Kawhi in Toronto is an often cited scenario also. this happens, in other words. And so I'm trying to figure out, okay, if it happens, what's the team that comes out of the woodwork and says, here's so much stuff, Milwaukee, that you cannot deny us. And at some point, you just got to tell Giannis, sorry, buddy, we're sending you here. And then, for the record, maybe Giannis is like, you know what? Toronto isn't that bad. Maybe I would go play there or something like that. So I was trying to figure out what that team is. I know Houston has said that they're not interested in Giannis. They also said the same thing about KD, and then they traded for KD, right? I'm just reading tea leaves. I'm not reporting anything. I'm just wondering, like, Houston, really? Are we sure? Because you kind of look like you're going nowhere fast right now. And that could be the kind of move that puts you over the top. The other one that was kind of fun for me was Indiana, not only because of the rivalry between him and the Pacers and the Bucks, but also, like, can you imagine a better running mate for Tyrese Halliburton? Just throwing lobs in full court to Giannis over and over again. If they offer Siakam and their 2026 pick, which right now is a 52% chance of landing in the top 4 in a loaded draft, that's the trade. That's it. And then you flip Siakam for 4 first-round picks somewhere else to a contender. Like, that's the trade. So we had some fun with it today.
Watching Giannis and Tyrese's dad celebrate would be fucking incredible.
Right.
Like, if they're on the same team, it would be fucking.
And they should just give Giannis the game ball every game for the first season.
Well, they should give Tyrese's dad the game ball and have him like run around and then make Giannis go and grab it from him for just peak content. Maxime, MT, why do you guys want this to happen? I'm assuming that you want it to happen, but why? What's the upside on Giannis to Golden State?
Just look at the All-Star game with the alley-oop slam up, right? I mean, it's not just about good positional chemistry. It's also about the individual chemistry between the two of them on and off the court. Everybody in Golden State is bringing up how Giannis was also the only person after the All-Star game to go to Steph's party. So there's clearly, they're both family values with sort of the capital F version of family values. When I was talking about my concerns about Michael Porter Jr. On this team, my concern was more about what would happen in the locker room and friction in terms of how different loud personalities like to live their lives. And I think Giannis and Steph, right? Everybody talks about loving to play with Steph. I feel like Giannis is the poster child for exactly the person that would fit into the I love playing with Steph mentality. So it's just, obviously he's a 2-time MVP, can lead a team to a championship in his own right. We know that Steph is still capable of being the A+ number 1 option to lead a team to a franchise or to a championship. So you put the two of them together, that's championship, baby.
Nice. I don't know if I like it and I do it, but I don't know if the goal is a championship. I think the goal is to try to give Steph the best shot at winning. And there's a difference. Even as good as Giannis and Steph would be as a pair, I don't know if they're better than OKC once they get out of the doldrums of the regular season and a healthy Denver when Aaron Gordon is back. So I think we have a puncher's chance against them, but I don't know that move, especially if you have to gut some of the strength in numbers players to get there, does it. I don't think it makes us a favorite. It probably puts us as a contender. So, but I think it does satisfy the goal of, look, Steph, we're trying to maximize the few years you have left, and we went out and got you a superstar player, the best one that we could do. So I think it satisfies that, and that's why I do it, because it signals the right intent for what has been the most important player in our franchise history.
Before I talk about upsides, I just want to, this has been bouncing around in my head. I'm going to say it once and then not follow up. If I think the Warriors want to win a championship, I think the best thing they could do is sit Steph Curry for the rest of the year. If whatever happens, I don't think we're fighting for this year. I think there's a great chance Milwaukee doesn't trade him until the offseason. I think if they can somehow tank and get a somewhat serviceable draft pick this year, it increases our trade package in a way that nothing else can. You get lucky in the fucking draft lottery in this draft, and suddenly you're adding, like right now, our draft package includes our 2026 pick, which is probably dog shit if we go for it this year. We include a top 10 pick this fucking year, we blow everybody out of the water as far as trade offers. I mean,
Ryan, to your point, this is the Anthony Davis to the Lakers thing. Remember, the Lakers were slotted at like 9, 10, or 11 or something. They moved all the way up into the top 5, and that's sort of what greased the wheels for Anthony Davis that offseason.
There you go. So I'm not going to follow that up. I don't think they're going to do it, but I am afraid that if they try to save this year, they're going to cost themselves next year. Conversation for a different pod. What do I like about this? This is one of those dudes, man. You can pick a stat and you're like, yes, I'd like it. More than 50 points in a closeout finals game. Yeah, I'd like it. 10 fucking all-star games. Yeah, I like it. Averaging 30 fucking points. Yeah, I mean, across the board. The Warriors have been preparing for this for years. There's a reason all the fucking draft picks are available. They wanted to make sure they had them in case this scenario came out, so yeah, of course. I'll take it a step further. I used to say when I was spoiled as fuck as a Warriors fan that under Lacob, unlike any other owner I'd ever had in a team, bad things happened for good reasons. The best example, Steph. Steph had a shitburger ankle history. Unbelievable. It's terrible. It's exactly what you don't want. But it led to the contract that allowed them to sign everybody else. Dynasty, right? If they somehow get Giannis out of this, if fucking Butler's ACL is the reason why they're able to get Giannis Antetokounmpo, then good things for bad reasons. Yeah. Okay. Other side of the coin. Wes, things we should be worried about, are there downsides to Antetokounmpo?
Nope.
Hey.
No, I mean, look, the one thing that gets raised all the time is the calf injuries and the history of the injuries, and I get that.
Yeah.
The way it was put to me, and I think it's a good point. I'm not a doctor, but it sounds good. There's a difference between players who have, nagging injuries and then players who've had major surgeries. Mm-hmm. And Giannis has not had the major surgery. And so, there's not a structural issue there, like where there is like with Kawhi, for instance, right? Where he's had a lot of different procedures there. That makes me feel a little bit better, right? If I'm trading for him. So yeah, I don't honestly, if you're a team like Golden State, Miami, Minnesota, like these teams that are going for it, fucking go for it. There's no downside here. You put all of it on the table. This is an all-in situation. I would argue Giannis might be everybody keeps, this is what you do for a top 5 player. Like you're selling him short. This is easily the top 3 player in the league. Might be the second best player in the league, right? Put Giannis on Shea's team. Like look at the numbers that this guy is still putting up for a lousy Milwaukee Bucks team. And that's with him just kind of not being happy, clearly not being happy. Like imagine when this guy is fully engaged. We've seen, to your point, Bram, what this guy can do at a final stage. It's one of the best final series we've ever seen. Like this guy is one of one. Come on.
Fuck yes. What, in their combo? Like, I don't know if people even know what NBA Jam is anymore. I hope so. If they don't, they should be fucking ashamed. But
the NBA Jam mock shirts of this will be great.
Okay, Steph and Giannis on a fucking NBA Jam. And like, it's the exact thing. It's the exact like synthesis that you want. It's all the shit. It's all the stats. It's all the blocks and all the threes. And like, it's everything. It makes perfect fucking sense. MT, Giannis is 30. Okay. And Wes pointed it out. I mean, no major injuries or surgeries, but missed games, last 5 years, 67, 63, 73, 67 games played. And then this year he's played 30 out of 46. Can this gentleman 3 years from now, right? Steph might be on his way out. Do you think in 3 years, Giannis can still be a face of the franchise? Is this trade a 2-timetable trade? I guess is what I'm asking you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can tell just by how many Greek restaurants are probably propping up around Thrive City right now. But yeah, I do think he can. And my question on the fit is not if Giannis makes sense and do you go all in? It's or the injury history. It's the culture fit. I think Giannis is such a serious guy on the court that I don't know how that meshes with the free flowing, like just have fun and find your joy on the court and smile. Like Giannis never smiles on the court, and it's almost like a prerequisite. You have to smile if you're going to play with Steph Curry. So, that's probably a low stakes thing that you would figure out, and it's obviously not a deal breaker, but that, the way Giannis is talking about his team right now, like not being bought in, not taking every possession seriously, to like go to the Warriors and experience a few of those 25 turnover games. I mean, like he's going to get frustrated really quickly about not taking every possession seriously. So I just think it's something to factor in. I don't think it's a deal breaker, but the cultural fit too of how Giannis approaches it is different than how the Warriors play.
Wes, does Giannis like behind the back turnovers for no reason? Is that a thing that he's okay with, or no? That might slow him down a little bit.
No, it's an interesting thing though. But look, Kevin Durant never smiled, and I know that it wasn't the best way it ended, but it led to 2 championships, right? And so, this is a thing that we talk about also on Locked On Heat is, I get the question of, really, Giannis, 31 years old, he'll be 32 next year. Like, you're going to sign that guy to an extension, and it's like, that's not going to look good at the end of it. And I'm like, who gives a shit? Like, the window is right now. You get 1 championship out of this, and the contract doesn't age super awesome at the end. Who gives a shit?
Oh,
like, you
yeah.
won a championship. The whole idea is to compete for a champion, and especially for the Warriors, the whole idea is to, MT, you were exactly right. Steph needs to play in games that matter. I want to see Steph play with stakes. You don't make trades if, like, there's not a trade out there that's like, oh yeah, we do this now, we're just the favorites. Like, no, there's never been a trade like that. But you make the trade that moves the needle for you, that puts you in the conversation of contenders. That's what this does. If you're pretty much any team in the league, especially, we're talking about the Warriors here. So yeah,
2018. And we are surrounded by like unbelievable world moving talent. And we're thinking about bringing somebody else in, and we're worried about their fit in the locker room or on the floor. Yep. Agree. 2026, when it feels like the wheels are fucking falling off and we just want to prop the title window open. If part of Giannis's demand is we're never allowed to smile, in the crowd included, fine.
By the way, Jimmy Butler is not a cultural fit whatsoever with Golden State, and all you guys seem to love him. So, I mean, it's...
Yeah, we've moved on from that love affair. I'm ready to trade him right now. But you are fair to say. And just to complete it, if he needs me to cry through every game, okay, I can do that. Also, other open offer. I don't know if his brothers have some place to stay, but they're welcome to stay at my house. Like if that's helps get the deal done. Okay, boys, who's got the best offer? Yeah. So there's odds on stuff like this. You looked it up. Right now, the team with the best odds to keep him after the trade deadline. So not when next season starts, just after the trade deadline. Milwaukee is the favorite, plus 120. That means I have to bet $120 to win 100. I'm sorry. It means I bet 100 and I win 120. Next team up, Miami Heat, 4-1, 400. Next team up, Golden State, 6-1. So it's Miami, then Golden State, which is the other dope thing that we've got you on the show today. So let's break down what can they offer and then figure out which one we think would be more attractive. I'll give you quick and dirty mine. 4 draft picks for Golden State. 2026, okay. 2028, a little bit better, but probably similar. 2030, probably pretty fucking solid, and it's got to fall within 1 through 20 for them to be able to convey it. And then 2032, probably pretty great. I know these mean nothing to you, Wes, but pick swaps. They can offer 3 of them in the next 7 years. So 4 first rounders, 2 I think you can make an argument might be pretty valuable, and then some pick swaps. And then the talent you've mentioned. JK, Moses, who's been playing really well recently, Pods, who's been having a sneaky good season. And then my guess is Jimmy, but we talked about this at the top of the show. If it was Jimmy, the trade would be the first rounders we discussed, JK, Moody, Pods, Butler, and who we would get back, Giannis, Kuzma. So we're telling them, don't worry about that contract anymore. Bobby Portis, similar deal, although his contract isn't too shitty. And then Thanasis, the brother, because I imagine that Giannis would want him. So that's the Warriors package. Wes, what's the presumptive package from Miami?
Tyler Hero is the big contract going out. In addition to Terry Rozier's contract, right? That's expiring money, comes off the books. Also similarly insured. So there's something there for if Milwaukee wants to save some money. So it's Rozier and Hero to make money work. And then it's the young players, Kalel Ware, probably Jaime Jaquez Jr. is in that. You can start negotiating. Is there a Kaziak Chonis? Is there a Nikola Jovic in there? Like, all right, Milwaukee, now we could talk. Like, who else are you interested in? But those are the 4 guys I think would probably be a part of it. And then Miami has 2 tradable first round picks, not the 4. And then they have the swaps. And you're right, the swaps don't matter because guess what? The Milwaukee Bucks are going to suck. All their picks are going to be better than the swap picks. Like they do not matter. The swaps don't matter. The swaps are for the press release. Who gives a shit? That's the pick. So to me, what it comes down to is I hear the argument for the Warriors package is you basically get control of this team's draft for the foreseeable future. Okay, that's interesting. Like that is a good offer. Kuminga, I don't know what the Bucks think about Kuminga. He's got fans in the league. Some people don't like him so much. That's dependent on them. Moody and Pods are fine, like whatever. Miami doesn't have the 4 picks. They have the 2 picks. But they do, but they're also out picks like the Golden State picks, right? We're talking about 2030, 2032. So very similar. So really what you're talking about is, would you prefer the okay Golden State picks over the young players that Miami can offer? Because that's really the difference. Because the young players that Miami can offer, in my view, and maybe you guys disagree here, are far superior than the young players that the Warriors can offer.
Disagree.
What?
Oh, yeah. MT, when did we see Khalil Ware? What was that? Was that like the California Golden Classic or whatever?
Oh, literally the worst he's ever been.
I mean, just to finish the story, how many NBA players were playing in that? Do you remember that? 1? Was it 1? Did he score once? I mean, the motherfucker's like, who the fuck is that? This fucking dude can't play for shit. That kind of he completely disappeared.
He had one good hook shot that looked pretty smooth. But yeah, it was,
so like after that, it's funny that you guys brought that up.
Whatever, and then trying to kick up Khalil Ware, and also going out of his way to tell us draft picks don't mean shit. That's what he's telling us right now. Draft picks don't mean shit. I think every NBA GM would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" That's complete bullshit. That's what they would say.
So that's what it comes down to me. If you're John Horst, if you're the Bucks, it comes down to, would you prefer the extra 2 picks in the near term from Golden State, or the young players that have already been selected coming from Miami? I don't think there's a right answer or a wrong answer. I just think it's a matter of, okay, if you're the Bucks, what boxes are you trying to check?
I got defensive, which is why I answered so loudly and talked about the California Golden Classic. Tyler Hero can play. And his contract is far more manageable. A young kid, not hurt. And like, if you're going to start a team, or like you kind of want to start over.
Oh, they would Michael Porter Jr. him, right? Yeah. Pad your stats on a bad Milwaukee, but he'll average 30 a game.
Lose game.
And then they flip him for
picks. I can see value in both. And also, I've immediately illustrated, I'm not neutral. I can't evaluate this. So, gentlemen, I mean, if any of you think you can be neutral, what do you think? Well, of those 2 offers, which is more valuable to you?
Oh, the Heat offer. I think there's a reason that it's 4-1 instead of 6-1, right? I also think that Jaime Jaquez Jr. is frankly better than anybody coming back, except for Jimmy Butler, who's not playing for them, right? So maybe that sort of tips you in favor of saying, well, maybe that's too good and we would start winning games unnecessarily, and we actually really, really want to make our own picks as valuable as possible. But it's just a more compelling offer, especially because, what I think, Wes, what you were saying was, no, it's not the pick swaps. Who gives a shit? It's that the question is, how valuable are those first 2 Warriors picks, right? And I don't necessarily think that those really outweigh, like you said, Jaime Jaquez and Tyler Hero. But then on top of it, if Giannis is getting a say in this decision, the East Coast just is closer to Greece, and that clearly matters to him because he's moved his family over there, and one of his brothers is over there, which, by the way, you take all the brothers, right? You take Alex, you take Kostas, you take Thanasis. There's the 5th brother too, Francis, right? Who's played some MLS or some soccer. I mean, he gets to play with Lionel Messi, right? You sign him, as much as you can, right? Like Pat Riley calls up whoever owns the MLS Miami affiliate. Yeah, right. Inter Miami, and is like, come on, help me out here. And we have the earthquakes, but San Jose is a little farther away. Right? I don't think it's as compelling. So you look at all the little details there, and I think Miami just has the better offer.
MT, before you answer, just add a little fun fact. Jaime Jaquez, who I agree is very good, selected at the 18th selection. So not all picks, you can get players later on, which is why first rounders, I think, might be valued. And for every, late player, there's a James Wiseman. So, the value is not guaranteed. All right.
One other quick point on Jaime. He's also, he's going to be due for his rookie scale extension this summer. So that's a thing that Milwaukee, you probably give it to him. Jaime is a good player. It's not a big deal, but that's there.
And in the 6 man of the year conversation, from what I understand. MT, which pick would you take? Also, Maxime, we no longer need your services. Thank you so much. Dude.
Sorry, I'm right.
It's all good.
Unfortunately, I'm following him out the door. I think Miami's offer is better. I'm actually a big fan, despite how he played in the California Classic, of Khalil Ware. I think of the players, he's got a higher ceiling than Jaime Jaquez Jr. So I think he's the key player on that and the one that would excite the Bucks the most. And barring that they have David Beckham on speed dial and somehow get the player on Inter Miami. I still think just the picks to me, I think Golden State still has a better case for the 4 picks. I mean, to your point, Bram, even if they fall later in the first round, you can still find value there. So I think the players, Miami wins. The amount of picks, Golden State wins, but the quality of the players nudges it just ahead for Miami to have the better offer.
I was ready for you both to screw me, so I've actually got one more opinion to throw into the fray. Let's hear from Brian Windhorst. We got that clip. Let's play it here.
And you look at Golden State. If there's a deal that's going to be made before the deadline, in my belief, Golden State is the team to make that deal because the other teams have to get 3rd and 4th teams involved. And that's why Golden State is going to be probably the most aggressive between now and Thursday. Their best position is doing the deal before next Thursday. And you look at Golden State.
That's it.
If there's
I'd like it to be longer. I like it to be longer, but I think reading between the lines, and there's some other quotes, I think Windhorst may agree with me that not that the pick package is more valuable, but that the pick package may be more attractive to Milwaukee, but I don't know. And I'm going to tell you who disagrees with me, the odds makers, right? There's a reason why they've set the odds the way they have and why Golden State is behind them. Okay. I've gone over. I know I have. So we're going to go quick hits. Yeah. Yep. Give me a yes or no on the following questions with the reminder that Matty Stats is out there listening. So there's some points available. First one, I'm going to ask you, will this player be traded before the deadline? Tell me yes or no, and I'll give you an extra point if you can tell me yes and to who. Ja Morant.
No.
No.
Oh, we're going round robin? No.
Yeah. I say yes. I have no idea where. Domantas Sabonis.
No.
Yes to the Chicago Bulls.
That should not be allowed. I'm sorry. I know we're doing a speed round. The Bulls and the Kings should not be allowed to trade with each other anymore.
It's the best joke.
Too much history. Too much history.
Sacramento's like, do you have anyone else from that team when everyone's playing together? We just like, we know we're missing like one piece. There's got to be fucking somebody else out there.
Is Kirk Heinrich still under contract? Can we get him?
So good. He's so good.
I think he's getting traded. Yeah. I don't know where.
I say no. Zion. I say yes, but I have no idea. This is going to be a familiar refrain. Yes, I have no idea to where.
Okay, so I'm just figuring out this game, actually. It behooves me to say yes and a team because that increases my point potential, right?
You get your points. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say yes, Utah.
Ooh. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, Memphis.
I'm just still tripping about Utah. There's a lot of discordant stuff with Zion's off-court behaviors.
How unhappy
what do you mean?
Zion and the Utah fan base will be. Like it'll be like a mutual, like, wait, what? What's happening?
You're right. I take that back. Actually, that might
Mariah,
be a really
who?
good position for Zion. Oh my god, this is like the greatest storyline of my NBA offseason life. Incredible shit. Yeah. No, I don't think he's getting traded.
The big one, Giannis traded before the trade deadline. I'll go first on this one. No. If I'm Milwaukee, I wait to the draft lottery. Maybe somebody gets crazy lucky and they get the first pick out of nowhere, and so the trade packages totally shift. And I'm not in a hurry for what? Giannis isn't going to play. He's got the cap, so he's not going to fuck over my draft. And I just sit all these offers where people are knocking down my door to trade for him. They'll still do that in the offseason. Just wait. And then sure, talk to me in fucking June, man. And then we'll get it done then.
I'm going to say yes, he is traded before the deadline. I agree with everything you said, Bram. I think that is maybe the more prudent approach, but the human element here is definitely a factor, and I just think the toothpaste is out of the tube, and it just feels like we're due. So I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to decline to make a prediction of where I'm going to give up those points.
Despite the opportunity for points, it feels like you don't want to jinx it. Nicely played.
Yep.
I'm going to say yes, even though I don't really believe it, but I'm going to go yes into the Warriors.
You shouldn't be allowed to say that, you piece of shit. Neither you, Maxime. You better not say the same thing.
Oh, damn it. Well, I already left the room, so I'll come back in to let you know that I'm right there with MT. We both walked in and out. I think, and look, if Jimmy has to go, you can just like rename Chase Center to Big Face Coffee Center. Like, like we'll make it work. We'll do whatever it takes. Call up Elon Musk and have him build a bore tube straight to Greece if that's what it takes. I think we can make this happen. I think where there's smoke, there's fire. Giannis wants to come here. And I think, I actually, if you look at, like, for example, the Milwaukee Bucks Twitter or Milwaukee Bucks Reddit, they're all like, okay, we've done enough of this having the rug pulled out from under us and then put back in. Like, I think the whole franchise is ready to move on. So I think to add some color to that human element there, right? I think we've done with this will he, won't he energy, and Milwaukee is ready to say, thank you so much, Giannis, and good luck with your future.
Wes, did both MT and Maxime just answer yes? And I think John Horst, the Milwaukee GM, is super stupid. That, like, I think there's two offers out there, and they're definitely going to take the fucking one that is worse.
There are 5 direct flights out of the U.S. to Greece: New York, Boston, Washington, D.C., Chicago, and Dallas.
Oh,
and Atlanta. There's another one, so 6.
Was SF in that list? I got distracted because I was listening for Miami.
Nope.
Okay, they will open one up. I'm fucking Southwest. Does anybody listen? Like, I don't know.
Southwest.
Yeah, yes, they will have one
Pick your own
international
seat,
flight.
Giannis.
Only goes to the fucking. Dude, in fact, it's
permanent B group status too.
It's going to land at Giannis' parents' house. That's where it's going to go right there. It's really fucking convenient. I can't believe it. I forgot to announce that earlier on. Okay, last question for story. And I'm forgive me. I know we've lasted too long.
No, I want to hear it.
But Wes, so you have established yourself very quickly and very authoritatively as our food expert, rightfully so. Your
awesome.
Takes are fantastic.
Very good.
And so this is a food adjacent take. You've got ties to food, so let me throw it your way. Recently, say about a week ago, I ordered from a food delivery service whose name will go unmentioned. We'll protect the guilty. Waiting for it. It was at work. Took a little bit longer than I wanted. I think that said it was going to come in 17 minutes or some shit. And 19 minutes pass. I'm a little bit pissy. I try to kill some time. So I leave my office to go to the bathroom. I'm going to come back in. And the second I leave the office's door, I'm getting close to the bathroom. Who comes out? The delivery driver. He had gone to the bathroom while holding my food before delivering it to me. So, and it's, to his defense is the wrong phrase, right? To like, if I had to put myself in his shoes, I don't think he ever thought we'd make eye contact. You know what I mean? Like you go into the bathroom, you come back out, the fucking bag's in his hand. I never know. You drop it off. That's that. So in any world, is that acceptable? I imagine he didn't piss in it. Like it probably stayed on the side. You know what I mean? He just brought it in a bag into the bathroom is what I imagined happened. I don't think he took a shit. I don't know.
That was my next question. How long do you know?
I don't know. I only saw him
the guy. When did he get to your building?
I only saw him exiting. It's impossible for the only timestamps I can give you. He's supposed to be there at 6:17, 6:19 about is when I see him exiting. So quick shit. If that's what's happening.
The 2-minute shit is tough. I don't know how
it's quick shit.
But unless he had to really go, I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense. Like you could not make it to your door.
And it's firing out of him. So, 2 questions, acceptable in any way. And what would you do? What do you do? Like, how would you have handled that?
Not acceptable, but I am not like front facing aggressive enough to say anything to his face. I just take the food. I just allow it to be awkward. I don't care about awkwardness. It's weird. And then I throw that food away and then I walk to Brandy Hose. Like, what the hell, dude? Like I am absolutely not eating that food.
Do you send a review? Like, do you ever?
Yes, and then I go through the app of the service that you're using, and I demand a refund. 100%.
I'll tell you guys what I did in a second. Maxime, MT, what's acceptable and what's the response?
I had a very similar thing happen, though not involving a bathroom, but I had a delivery service just deliver a clearly different order to my front door. And then when I tried to submit it and say, hey, like, what the fuck? They were like, oh, well, the receipt isn't in the image. It's like, that's your delivery driver's fault, but they were refused. And the whole point of me saying that is like, I'm too fucking tired. Like, we're all parents here. Like, I don't have the time to actually go through the rigmarole of like submitting and all this bullshit. I just ate somebody else's pizza. But frankly, I would eat it. I don't give a shit.
Oh, surprise response.
Yeah. Nice. I think
I'm
it
hungry.
should be a misdemeanor offense, literally illegal to do that. And as soon as I saw it, I would have had embraced the awkwardness like Wes and not said anything, but immediately went and asked for a refund, and it would have went straight in the garbage. Even if it was stapled shut and it's like, hey, it's your freshness, seal of delay, it doesn't matter.
You don't take my food in the bathroom under no circumstances.
What are you doing? Put it at the door.
There could be a puppy drowning in that bathroom. You leave the food outside and go save the puppy. Like,
if
stop.
he had put the food in a hazmat suit, I wouldn't have eaten that shit. If it's the same, if I had come into the bathroom and found him shitting into my food, it would have been the same level of disgust.
Yep.
Like there would have been like, oh my God, it would have been the exact same. Like, well, I'm definitely not eating that.
I don't take my own food into the bathroom that
No,
I made.
hell no. I don't even like the other day, same thing. I'm at work. We've got like random treats. I took a handful of gummy bears, put it into the mouth, had to piss. I waited till I finished the gum. I'm not going to chew the gummy bears in the bath. I'm not even doing that.
How many gummy bears?
What did I do? I am such a wuss. I fight for a living, Kevin. I mean, that's what I do as an attorney. I'm a trial attorney. I sit in a room and we scream at each other. I'm totally comfortable doing that for other people. For me, not only did I not confront the gentleman, I didn't even say the food was for me. I gave him like a, hey, and that's it. We went to the bathroom. I let him drop it off. I didn't I completely hid my disgust.
Oh, that's a good move.
Yeah, but like I was internally, I'm like, oh my God, that's my food. Externally, I was like, hey, I hope you're having a great day. It's like, I hope you're shit.
Let Bram know it's here.
Dude, it's like, yeah, I bring my food into the bathroom regularly too. Like, I don't even know what I said. I sought that dude's approval, then came in. There's a garbage on the other side of my door. The door hadn't even closed. It was just like, bow, like I'm fucking, this is being immediately thrown away.
What kind of food was it that you ordered?
Chinese. In fact, you nailed it, Brandy Hose.
Tough.
I should have just walked up. It's exactly what it was.
Right around the corner.
It's exactly. Oh, don't you worry about how lazy I am. I am not on fucking trial here. I have a service, and they dropped it off. It was what it was. And then I still. This is more laziness than lack of conflict, because conflict over the screen for me, I have no problem with. I haven't actually fired off a fuck you review. I haven't asked for any money back or anything like that. And it's probably too long now. Literally what I did, I was like, I can't wait to talk to Wes about this on a podcast. Like this is going to be a whole thing. So here we are.
Paid for itself. It
paid for itself. I kept everybody way later than I was supposed to. Wes, missed you, man. Love having you. For people who need way more Goldberg in their life, where do they go?
Check out Locked On NBA Daily. We air Monday to Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's on YouTube, podcast app, everything you do. It's a really good show. I just started hosting it this season. I'm really proud of the show we're putting together, so go check it out.
It's great stuff. On our side, MT and Maxime are hosting a new Miami Heat podcast. It's going to be great. They highlight the advantage of the trade packages, stuff like that. Maxime has a side project, Why I Eat Bathroom Food. It's a whole thing, multi-step. It's when's that coming out, Maxime? That's next week or?
Constantly, because, fuck it.
It's a constant.
Just whenever I'm on the toilet, I'm recording, I'm eating, I'm recording. It's the same thing.
Sounds like OnlyFans.
All in one.
Me and Zion.
With that in mind, go Warriors. Hopefully, we'll see you real soon.